Stop being so competitive. Be competitive with yourself. Worry about yourself and how you're going to better you or your team or your family or whatever before you start worrying about taking that same energy to knock somebody else's situation down.
Yeah. Jsean.
Hey, what's going on? This is Jsean, and today I kind of wanted to talk about something that crossed my mind. So for me personally, I actually like watching international movies. The reason is because I love to see diversity. It's not even just diversity. I love to see different people's perspective when they're not from here or where I'm from, where I'm at, where I'm located in the States, right? I always like to see how other people view the same things, whether it be tragedy, whether it be love, hate, revenge, any of those things. I love to see other people's perspective. And I think a lot of people are so stuck in their ways, right, that you don't bother to see bigger than what you can see. And I think that's a big problem. I watch a lot of foreign movies, right? And it could be Indian movies. It could be like Korean soap operas and all that stuff. And to some people, they may look at it literally and be like, this is corny. I can't get into it. So lovey-dovey, they're always crying or whatever the storyline may be. But see, I don't look at it like that. I don't look at it as I'm too cool to watch something. I don't care how tough you are, right? I don't care how tough you are. I don't care how much muscles you have, what part of the streets you represent or what neighborhood you're from or any of that. It doesn't matter. No matter how tough you are, male or female, trust and believe you can shed a tear or you have shed a tear sometime in your life. And that's just a human thing to do, right? Now, you may have a tougher time expressing yourself. Like me, I'm private, so I'm not the type to just boo-hoo and cry about certain things all in the open just because I feel like I can. I'm the type of person where it really has to come from a certain place and time in my life where I feel like it's appropriate for me to share something like that. So it would be definitely intentional. Even if I hurt myself, I will say, ow, I'll cuss, a storm up or whatever. You won't see me cry. Unless it's like things that like it makes my eyes water or something like that. You won't see me boohoo crying about nothing. It's just the way that I am. It doesn't mean I'm tough. It just means that that's how much I hold a lot of things in. That's just the type of person and my personality, right? So I've been watching, and I don't care what race you are or whatever. Everybody loved or at least used to love like kung fu movies and all that stuff. So I've been watching a lot of, like Ip Man, and I saw like the 1, 2, 3, and the 4 the other day. And the Grandmaster and all that stuff. I don't know if you even know what that is, but if you don't, check it out. It's pretty dope. I would recommend, even though they have like an English version in audio, watch it and listen to it in their language and read the subtitles. It takes away from the authenticity or the organic feel watching the movie when you hear somebody voiceovering the actor and it just doesn't even, their voice doesn't match, you know what I'm saying? It just looks weird. And if, I don't know how old some of y'all is, but there used to be something called the Black Belt Theater back in the day where that was really big. But it just, I don't know, back then it made sense, but oh, my bad, I almost dropped the camera. But in present day right now, just try to watch it and read the subtitles. That way you know you're engaged with what's actually happening in the story. If you ever watch like Korean soap operas, they're really slow. So in the very beginning, you may think this is trash. And if you don't like it, watch it with your girl or something like that. Try something different. So one thing that I did notice without even trying to find it is that how much hate there is, right? So these Chinese people, they were always about who's the best. Ip Man was always very humble. Even when he won, he would always tell them, thank you for letting me win. That's how deep this dude was and confident he was in himself. And I watched the Passion of the Christ too. It's like a weird movie situation I had going on the last couple of days, and I just noticed that the common thing, even though Kung Fu has nothing to do with Passion of the Christ and all these Asian movies and stuff, I just noticed that, well, the Asian movies, the Korean movies, the Indian movies, they're more, I mean, they have a storyline that's deeper than just love, but most of the stuff that I've seen, they tend to focus on a lot of love stuff, right? And class, like upper class, lower class, rich, poor, that type of tip. So we're going to exclude that at the moment. I'm going to talk about these Kung Fu movies and how they were kind of like similar to what I've seen in everyday things, right? So they're always in battle with each other. They always want to be the best. Ip Man is basically like, who cares about North and South? We can basically do this together. We can basically have a North and a South. That's kind of his personality, his attitude. He don't really care about being the best, I don't think. In a competitive spirit and being involved in Kung Fu or his style, I think he enjoys it and never turns down fights and stuff like that. But based on the movie, he was never about looking down on nobody or being the best or needed the title of a grandmaster or anything like that. And then you always see the people fighting amongst each other. And then you see, like, whether it wasn't Americans, I think it was like British or something like that. And in Japan, when they took over, they always had this thing of, I'm better than you, and this way is the way, your way sucks. And they will fight and they would die, kill each other over this nonsense, right? So the more I watch it, I'm like, why are we like that? You know what I'm saying? Even in the States, it's like, why is it always a competition? Why is it always, I'm better than you? You're not better than me. Why can't we all like live together? You know what I'm saying? Like, why can't you do your thing, I do my thing? Like, why does it always have to be a takeover process? You know, and it's kind of weird. It kind of bothers me. Maybe because I'm getting older, I just look at things and listen to things a little bit differently, and it affects me differently. I got little ones too, so I look at it from a perspective of a parent. I look at it as a perspective of somebody who's been through some shit personally. And it's kind of a crazy world. It's a crazy world out there, and it doesn't make any sense. So when I tell you, do everything at top level, at your top level, you're in no competition with anybody except yourself. Make sure your next move is your best move, or at least your better move. That really means something. It really means, that comes from a place for me personally where I look at how the world is from different perspectives. Now I know they're just movies, but shit, movies are based on a lot of books, and books are a lot of times are based on people's imaginations or real experiences or other people's experiences, right? It's like, it's not science fiction we're talking here. We're talking about things that actually can happen or has happened, right? So I just feel like, as people, why do we hate so much? You know what I'm saying? I looked at Passion of the Christ. I'm like, damn, even if they didn't like what he said, Jesus, they could have just let him be, and they could have did their own thing. If they believed what they believed so strong, why did they have to attack and break down Jesus? Because Jesus had influence. Jesus had people following him, which would have debunked what they believed in or how they carried it or whatever. They were insecure about their own situation so much that they felt threatened by Jesus, to the point that they had to make him an example. In this life right now, where you are in life, don't ever be so wrapped up due to your friends, due to what neighborhood you're from, due to anything that will make you feel like you have to tear somebody else down because you feel like they're doing better than you. Because you feel like they're reaching somewhere that you want to be, or you think that they're stopping you from something, even if they're not trying to directly or intentionally. You know what I'm saying? These are the times, like, you need to pull your pants up, man, and take action. And if you feel that way, if you feel like somebody's competition, that means you're insecure about you and your circumstances. And if you feel insecure about you and your circumstances, that means you need to level up, and you need to take what you're doing to your top level. And that's it. So no matter how well I think I could be, I'm not on no, billionaire type of tip, right? So my level, if I were to compare it to like a billionaire, I'm like poor, dirt poor in comparison, right? So I would never do that to myself, because I know I'm not on that level at all. You know what I'm saying? All I would do is disappoint myself and make myself sad for no reason. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, why would I even do that? I'm only looking about my level. What level am I on? What level am I trying to reach? Who affects my level, who's around me? You know what I'm saying? Like, I look at it in that type of way. Don't get so wrapped up in yourself and lose confidence in yourself by putting yourself in the wrong category of where you are in your life. It's not a race, man. And the sad thing is, this is what I tell like my kids, like, you're not in a race. Slow down. Who you racing against? Who you in a competition with? You only are racing against yourself, and that's all that matters. And I'm not trying to lecture or nothing. I'm just trying to speak what seems to be obvious. You know what I'm saying? And you know how they say common sense ain't so common? I really believe that, because even myself, like, you know, I make some decisions where I feel like, what was I thinking? You know what I'm saying? Like, I got to go back and rewind and kind of like reevaluate what happened and what I did, and do my best to not repeat. And it's just weird. The times is weird. Just stop being so competitive. Be competitive with yourself. Worry about yourself and how you're going to better you or your team or your family or whatever before you start worrying about taking that same energy to knock somebody else's situation down. But despite all that, just you got to put your energy into your own situation, your own thoughts, your own mind, and what you want to do, what you need to do to take care of you and your team, your family, employees, your friends, whatever the case is. I didn't even know where I wanted to start. I just know I wanted to start. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes that's all it takes. You just got to do it. It don't matter. I don't know what to do the next time and the next time, and keep learning. So make sure you do everything at top level, at your top level, because remember, you're in no competition with anybody except yourself. So make sure your next move is your best move, or at least your better move. Until next time, everybody stay safe. All right.